Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a feeding update, March's feeding update for our series 1 teaspoon at a time. So we had we had occupational therapy twice in March, and then we also had a speech therapy, and we seen the GI doctor. All of these are in Hollywood. So in the beginning of the month, we had occupational therapy followed by speech therapy. And basically the same thing that we have been experiencing with occupational therapy. They told us that Cadence needs to start to chew. As soon as she starts doing better chewing foods, then we can drop one of our appointments. So we would only be seeing occupational therapy once a month. We did notice an increase in the amount of food that Cadence is eating. She started eating strawberries again, and then she started eating like oatmeal. The quantity of her foods when she eats is a lot more too. She started eating goldfish, Cheerios. She just started trying a lot more different types of food. She still does have like a sensory and like a food aversion. They tried to give her for St. Patrick's Day, they had like pistachio ice cream, and the color of the green ice cream freaked her out, and so she didn't want to try it. She was like super grossed out by it and kind of like gagged on it when we tried to put it to her lips. So she does still have the sensory and the food aversion, but it's something that we're working through. And speech therapy also recognized that too, and they also said that she has a slight motor delay, which is something that we can just like work on through the mouth compressions, the same exercises that we've been doing for the past like 18 months. Nothing has changed. So we're still going to be doing those. They also have us giving her beef jerky sticks once a day, just for her to practice chewing. But that was really it. That's our main update for occupational therapy, is that we, once Cadence starts to do a better job at chewing, then we will be able to drop one of the appointments down to once a month. So that's exciting. And we also started looking into seeing occupational therapy in Fontana rather than Hollywood. The distance is the same from where we live. The only thing is that the traffic going to Hollywood is a lot worse than it would be going to Fontana during the times that we normally have our appointments. So considering like with the baby, it's going to be a lot of travel time for me and for a new baby, especially like if I'm breastfeeding or anything, which is why we requested the transfer. So I just did that this week. So I'm waiting to hear back from Kaiser to see what they say, because I have to get a referral basically through Cadence's pediatrician. So I'm just waiting for that. As far as the speech therapist goes, they just wanted her to see speech therapy because she was choking a lot on the liquids, and when like she was drinking out of sippy cups and stuff. So we met with speech therapy, and they confirmed with me that they are not worried about Cadence's speech right now. They said wait until she's 2. They agreed basically with the pediatrician. And so speech was in there. I mean, the occupational therapist was in there when she was telling me, like not to worry about it and stuff. So I was like, oh, finally this lady can get off my back about it. But she was saying like Cadence is fine for her age. She just wants to make sure that we kind of monitor it, and that she continues to like add words into her vocabulary, and it's not something that we have to worry about until she's about 2 years old. So that's a good thing. We don't have to go see speech anymore. The speech therapist, like I had mentioned, she did confirm that she does have a slight like motor delay. But again, it's something that we'll work on with like compressions and mouth exercises. And she said for the choking, Cadence doesn't really choke that often. She had us use small straws, like get a regular straw and just cut it in half, because she thinks that when she's drinking from a straw, she has to suck up, and she's sucking in the air, and so she's not as coordinated as like maybe we would be to be able to suck in that air and swallow, and that's what's causing her to choke. So we've been like cutting straws shorter, and it seems to help. And then when she drinks from her sippy cup, she likes to just like throw her neck back like that, so we have to kind of control that a little bit, and that seems to really help her. So she's not really majorly concerned. She said we don't have to make any follow-up appointments or anything like that with her. If we see that she's regressing, then we'll make an appointment with her to see kind of like what's going on. And with the choking, they wanted us to see speech because they wanted to make sure that she's not aspirating. But the speech therapist said that she's more concerned having to do like another swallow study, because if she did another swallow study, that would be a 4th swallow study in 1 year, and she feels like the risks of the radiation for the swallow study outweigh the risks of Cadence aspirating a little bit, if she is even aspirating. She based her decision of Cadence not getting another swallow study on the fact that she hasn't had any like chest sicknesses. The only thing that she's had is croup, but she's really not worried about that. So that tells her that she's not really aspirating. So we also seen GI this month, and everything went really well with that. Cadence is growing really well. She's growing on her growth curve, which is really good. And that's really all that GI has been having to monitor lately. Because her case is not considered critical anymore. You okay? Oh, she's sick right now. Because her case isn't really considered critical anymore, he also recommended that we be transferred to the Fontana facility, which is great. Oh my God, don't get me started on Dr. Kim. He makes me so mad. He has had her case since she first got the G-tube, which she was like 3 weeks old. And every time we go in there, he's seen her at least 5 times so far. And every single time that we go in there, he always refers to her as a boy. And I have to remind him, Cadence is a girl, like hence her name. So that just tells me like that he's not checking her chart. I have to remind him about things that we talked about before. Like he's just like everywhere. Like his mind is just everywhere, and he makes me so mad. But I'm so glad that we're being transferred, that we're able to be transferred, and that when we go to Fontana, hopefully she's supposed to have if she has a GI doctor, she's supposed to have a nutritionist. And I guess Hollywood for the longest time didn't have a nutritionist, and so we were never assigned one. But when we go to Fontana, I can request a nutritionist through her new GI doctor. So that's supposed to happen in June, and I couldn't be like more happy. But anyways, that's like the major update for the GI stuff, besides like her being healthy and, you know, growing on her growth curve and stuff. The second thing that he wants us to do is again drop 2 more feeds. So he wants us to go from 5 feeds now every 4 hours at 200 mLs, which comes out to about 7 ounces, to 3 feeds every 6 hours at 250 mLs, which is I think about 9 ounces. So that's about right for her age. Like anywhere between 18 to 2 years old, they drink about 9 ounces with their bottle. So that's what we're going to be working on. The feeding pump that we have right now is called the Joey pump, and that only goes up to the 200 mLs over a half an hour. So I had to remind him about that because he like completely didn't even look at her chart to see what she has right now. So I reminded him about that, and I told him that our Joey pump doesn't support that, and so he went ahead and he ordered us the Infinity pump. And that Infinity pump is for like toddlers 2 and up, and then like adults or whatever, they can use that, because the mLs per hour, you can set it at a higher rate. So it will support the 250 mLs that she's supposed to get over half an hour. So that already came in, but we haven't used it yet because I had just ordered the new shipment of feeding bags for her Joey pumps. So I'm finishing those off. And then once that's done, and plus she's sick right now, and so I haven't been giving her over 200 mLs. So once she feels better, probably next week, we'll start using the Infinity pump and seeing how she does. And so we'll just slowly again drop 1 feed at a time. And then we'll go and we'll see her new GI doctor and see what they think about it. Plus her nutritionist, I'm so excited. Maybe she can get off, because she has to take Enulose, which is almost like a constipation medication, because the formula gets her like backed up. So hopefully the nutritionist can help us with that, and maybe we have to switch formulas or they can recommend something else. Let's see. But yeah, that was really it. So the major points from GI is that number 1, we're switching over to Fontana. Number 2, we are dropping 2 more feeds, and number 3, she is right on schedule with her growth curve. So overall, everything seems to be going well, slow and steady. So we'll see what next month holds. But for as far as March updates goes, March was a good month. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in next month's update. Bye. Bye bye.